sure we get to them as well. In the meantime, real quick, I just want to make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. So if you can hear me clearly, go ahead and put a one in the chat. If you can hear me clearly, go ahead and put a one in the chat. All right, awesome. That sounds great. All right. All right, so again, this presentation is going to take about 30 minutes. I have 45 depending on the questions. Okay, now my computer tends to move a little slow sometimes. So if you see a freeze or a lag, just be a little patient. Again, it does tend to have a mind of its own. We are the new age of technology, so at the end of the day, I just want to make sure you guys are pretty much good to go. And one more thing too, do me a favor, just mute your phone so there's no background feed. I want to give you all my attention. So I just want to make sure there's no background feed as well. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Again, I have a lot of important information to share with you guys. But first, we're going to walk through launching a career that gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of financial freedom, and also the skills to grow your own tax business if that's something you want to do. Okay. Today, you're going to learn about our company, who we are, and what is it that we exactly do. You're also going to talk about what it takes to be a tax preparer, not just in the working in one of our offices, for example, but working for yourself as an independent tax preparer. We're also going to go over our live training, all the resources that we have for those of you who want to excel and be successful. We're going to go over the type of training that we have, and training is very important. We're learning every single day, so training is where everything is. So we're going to talk about training, how to get access to that, and what that looks like for the most part. And then my favorite part, which should be everybody's favorite part, is how do we get paid, right? What does that look like? So we're going to touch on that as well. All right. But for now, before we get started, do me a big favor, guys. Um, if you've never done taxes before, this is your first time you're thinking about doing taxes, never touched a tax return before, go ahead and put a one in the chat. If you've done taxes before for other people, for example, or maybe you have a tax business, go ahead and put a two in the chat. So again, one, if you're brand new to this, is totally new to you, a new venture, you're stepping out on faith, right? Getting out your comfort zone, put a one in the chat. But if you have experience, you did taxes before in the past, or you have a tax business, you're trying to get to the next level, go ahead and put a two in the chat. All right, awesome. So it's a mix of people on this call today, which is great. So again, we're going to talk about both and what that looks like for the most part. But again, what we do is we provide the tools, the training, the resources, and also the support for anyone looking to invest in themselves, right? Looking to start a new career or looking to grow. As long as you're looking to invest in yourself, you're in the right place. Okay. For those of you looking to improve your finances, right? Improve your income. If you're looking to have more control of your life, right? Your schedule and what you do, you're in the right place. We had over 100 preparers. I want to say last year, maybe 120 that joined our program last year. And the goal was for them is to have to make more money, right? But also have more control of what they do. I say all that to say, regardless if you're brand new, regardless if you have experience, um, the goal is always going to be to make as much money as possible and also to improve your mindset, right? And that's what we hear about. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about today as well. With that being said, my name is Randy D. Page. I'm a CPA and owner of Domingo Taxes and also Simple Tax. My Instagram is in the chat. So go ahead and follow me for motivation, business tips, and see what other companies I do own. I'm currently running from real estate to restaurants. So go ahead and check me out on the chat and see some of the things I do have and some of my experience as well. But I have been in the tax industry for about 25 years. I know I don't look it. Thanks for the compliment. But I've been around for about 25 years in the tax industry. 20 of those years has been spent being an entrepreneur, having my own tax business, building other small businesses. I started off as a payroll accountant for the number one law firm, Skadden Arps. And then I went to my CPA firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, was there for about 5 years as well. In 2007, I decided to leave corporate America. I took a leap of faith. I was really, really scared about doing this. I quit my job. I had a family, but I quit my job, decided to open my own tax business. So in 2007, what I did was purchase a franchise called Liberty Tax Service. And again, the reason why I purchased a franchise, and it was pretty expensive, but the reason why I purchased a franchise is because I knew about taxes, but I didn't know how to run a company, right? I didn't understand structure. I didn't understand the legal ramifications. I didn't understand like the LLCs and S corps and C corps, and I didn't understand marketing. All those things were important to me. So joining a franchise just allowed me to understand that, to get structure, to get marketing, to understand how that works. So I joined Liberty Tax in 2007, opened my first office in the great state of Brooklyn, New York, grew that franchise business to 12 offices in three different states: Alabama, New York, and Pennsylvania. We filed over 6,000 returns annually, grossing over 2.1 million annually, and also having about 100 tax preparers on our team annually. And now in our franchise days, and this is out of 4,500 offices or 4,500 franchise owners, I'm proud to say my team and I were number 8 in revenue. Again, out of 4,500 offices, number 8 in revenue, number 10 in return file, number 1 in training, and also number 1 in hiring. Now we have since stepped away from the franchise world. We became more independent, built a company called Diamond Eagle Taxes a few years ago. And that's more of a financial company with over 20 years of experience in the tax industry. We've handled things such as personal and business filing. We help clients structure their companies and build up their LLCs, S corps, C corps, and nonprofits. Helped out with bookkeeping and payroll to keep small companies organized. We also help with life insurance and investments to make sure our clients are fully covered. We also help with business funding. We connect banks with small businesses and people who need funding and who need loans. We connect those guys together for funding support. But what I'm most proud about is we do a lot of webinars, right? A lot of master classes on things that we need as a people, right? Especially in this day and age, right? We do master classes and webinars on wealth building, financial planning, and just business growth. Anything that has to do with self-development, we do webinars on that. And again, those webinars are there to teach people how to grow, how to be better than they were yesterday. Okay. Um, my team and I, which you met some of them in the very beginning, have over 80 years of experience combined, not in just in the tax industry, but in business as a whole, right? We're talking about from compliance to marketing, right? From technology to taxes, okay? From law to finance, from business operation. We have those type of experience being in the business for over 20 to 25 years. So when you join us, you're not just joining or getting a learning skill, you're joining a family of leaders. Okay, so this is a quick overview about who we are, what exactly we do. All right, definitely check out our website. We have over 600 Google reviews. All of them are 5 stars, and that's something we built and we're very, very proud of, guys. So definitely check us out online. All right, so let's talk over what is it to become a 6-figure tax preparer, which that's what we're all here to do, right? Make as much money as possible. All right. So guys, if you're looking to be more of an in-house tax preparer, which means working in one of our offices in Brooklyn or in Pennsylvania, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. If you're looking to be more of an independent preparer, working under our guidance, building something of your own, right? Learning how to do taxes for others, whether brand new have experience, or maybe even open a tax business this coming tax season or next tax season, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. Wow, all right. Shout out to the entrepreneurs in the house. Wow, Kendrick said all the way twos. All right. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations, guys. Again, you're in the right place, but even if you decide to, this is not for you, the fact that you guys are stepping out in faith, looking to do something different, looking for a path that's different than what you're on, I think that's awesome. Collins at the 3, I think that's awesome. All right. So yeah. So again, you guys are in the right place. And I'm gonna go over both and what that looks like. All right, but let's talk about becoming the perfect tax preparer. So let's talk about the perfect candidate, right? So the perfect tax preparer candidate will have a great personality. All right. Now, we've been doing this for over 20, 25 years, right? So we taught over thousands upon thousands of tax professionals how to do tax returns, okay? So we can teach anybody how to do tax returns. It's pretty much how you learn, all right? But what we can teach is personality, right? You have to have a pretty good personality. You have to like people, All right, let's say that. Okay. Also, having integrity is very important. All right. Clients, they put their trust and their faith in you. You will be handling a lot of sensitive information, building long-lasting relationships and trust. All right. Being a strong communicator is also very important. All right. Setting clear expectations with your clients, giving advice, highly valuable advice is very important, especially in this day and age. What's most important to me is having a willingness to learn, being able to adapt. One of the things you're going to see in a few minutes is our training, how we train. Um, and there's going to be a lot of information at your fingertips. Okay. You have to be able and willing to learn all that information. All right. Um, and that's where willingness and being able to learn comes in. All right. Being open-minded, asking a lot of questions, but also being able to want to learn. All right. Also, and finally, being customer focused. The tax business, you guys, is not just about numbers, right? But it's also about building relationships. And I want to pose the questions, and you guys can answer this in the chat if you don't mind. What do you think is missing from this list? All right. We talked about having a great personality. We talked about having integrity. We talked about having a willingness to learn. We also talked about being customer focused, right? Um, to be the perfect tax preparer, what do you feel is missing from that list? All right, so we have a few answers. The answer is experience, right? The answer is actually know how to do taxes. The reason why that's not on the list because when you're starting out, you do not need to know how to do taxes, right? You do not need experience. All right. Yep, you're absolutely right. Knowledge, all those things we could train you on. All right. We always talk to brand new people, and there's always like a fear factor of, how do I learn how to do taxes in such a short period of time? It is very, very simple. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later, but it's very, very simple. You do not need experience to do taxes. About 90% of the people who come through our doors over the last 25 years has never touched a tax return before. All right. What you do need, however, is a really good tax class. Okay. A tax class will give you a really good foundation for taxes. All right. And again, we'll go over the difference between tax class and software a little bit later, but having a good foundation for taxes that you get a tax class for about a month, you'll get a really good foundation. So you do need a really good tax class. Another thing you need, you guys, is a PTIN, right? The PTIN stands for Tax Preparer Identification Number, which basically identifies you as a person preparing a tax return. All right. Now, we give you all the training you need. And again, in a few minutes, I'll walk through what that training looks like with the full training process. But by the time you're done with our training, right, and what we take you through from step A to step Z, you have the knowledge, the tools, and the confidence to succeed, whether you're brand new or not, to succeed in the business, okay? And again, we're talking about working in our office. Now, we are looking for people to work in our Brooklyn offices and the Pennsylvania offices, right? We're looking for full-time and part-time shifts, day and evening, all right? Pretty much anything that will fit both of our schedules. And one great thing also is, as part of our growing team, you have the chance to join our life insurance and investment division. Okay, we keep you up to date with tax laws, the business operations, ways to grow your career year over year over year. Okay, now being an independent preparer is going to be a little bit different, right? You still don't need experience. So if you're brand new, looking to be an independent preparer, do not worry. You do not need experience. You still again need a good tax class and a really good training. All right. As an independent preparer, you could pretty much work from home, right? You have a home office. Having a home office, you get the home office deductions. If you're paying rent, you could deduct part of your rent. If you have a home, you could deduct part of your mortgage. So you have a home office, you can have a lot of great deductions for your tax business. That's something we cover in training. But again, you can work from home or you can have an office space. All right. You pretty much set your own hours and work at your own pace. Now, under our company umbrella, you still do need a PTIN. All right. But you'll be given access to all our business forms, all our operations. You'll be trained on how we operate, how we do marketing. We'll go through all of that in our training so you fully support it. All right. Now, especially for my brand new people, my newbies who've never done taxes before, you'll have a sense of layer of protection and peace knowing that when you do a return, it will be double checked by a compliance department. Right. Our goal for you is not to worry about if I'm going to mess up a tax return. We actually want you to make mistakes. Right. The best way to learn is through mistakes. Okay. So you don't have to worry about making a mistake. We want you to focus on getting your clients, establishing a rapport with your clients and making as much money as possible, and let us make sure the returns are done correctly. All right. And again, we'll go through that process in a few minutes. Another great thing about being an independent preparer is you're not limited by location. Okay, you could be in California and do a return in Houston. You could be in Atlanta and do a return in New York. You could be in Alabama, do a return in Florida. You're not limited by location, so your income grows without any gap. Um, Now, you also decide your own rates, the fees you want to charge. That's really up to you. We give you guidance. We show you how to price fees accordingly so you make as much money as possible, but you pretty much decide your own fees. All right. You still have the option to join our life insurance and investment division, and we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on as well. But that will also grow your earning potential. All right. And here's the best part. Let's talk about some money, right? Here's the best part. All right. Your income will be taken up from clients' refunds and sent to you direct deposit. All right. So it's not going to be any chasing down clients for monies or anything like that. Your refund, your fees come out of clients' refunds and sent to you. All right. And that's the best part about the program, the way you get paid. All right. So let's touch on working in our offices. Now, if you're looking to work in our offices, you will be on payroll. You have a set hourly wage working from December to April. All right. Now, this is only if you could physically be able to commute to our offices in Pennsylvania or Brooklyn. If you cannot commute to there, then being more of an independent preparer is going to be for you. All right. Now, again, we are hiring for full-time and part-time positions. Our offices are open from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and also on the weekends from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. All right. Our Brooklyn offices are 18 for Brooklyn offices. Your pay is 18 an hour plus incentives, and for Pocono, it starts at 15 an hour plus incentives. Now, again, you'll be given an employment contract and be put on payroll. This is just seasonal, December through April. All right. So that's working in one of our offices. Now, let's talk about becoming an independent preparer, right? It's a little bit different because the earning potential is really in your hands. Now, again, you keep 100% of the fees that you charge. You know, we do not do revenue splits. We collect the fees. I mean, you collect the fees. They get sent to your from the client's refunds, and they get sent to you direct deposit. So again, there's no chasing down clients. You also get to offer refund advance and holiday loans. And for you guys who don't know what that is, a refund advance is pretty much like a refund loan where you get your refund in about 24 hours. A holiday loan is around Christmas. Tax offices, we give out holiday loans to help people with Christmas, and then those clients come back to us to file tax returns. All right, and that's a great marketing technique. That's a great way to boost your clientele, especially in this season where everybody's trying to pinch dollars to make people happy. Okay. Now again, we'll give you the tools, the training, the coaching that you will need from marketing to operations. Again, just so you can understand how everything works and how to get clients and also how to get paid. All right. So what I want to do right now is I want to talk to you guys a little bit individually. Okay. I'm a big believer in goals. You know, I set goals. There's goals in my bathroom, goals in my door, my dashboard, goals in my office. I'm a huge believer in goals, right? And Zig Ziglar once said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Okay. And one of the questions that we asked before you guys got on in our text message is like, what's your goal? Okay. What are you looking to do at a program like this, right? And we had a lot of great answers. Some people just say, listen, I want more money. I want to make more money. You know, especially in this day and age, I just want to make more money. Some people say, you know, I'm just looking for a side hustle. You know, I work 9 to 5. I just want something on the side. Some people say, hey, I'm getting ready to retire. I'm really just looking to supplement my income once I retire. One other person said they're just tired of working 9 to 5. You know, they want more flexibility and they wanted something they call their own. Even though all the answers were different, the goal was still the same, right? How can I be better tomorrow than I am today, than I was yesterday? Okay. And that's the great thing about this type of question and seeing what mindset people have is we all trying to be better than we were yesterday and tomorrow. All right. So what I want to do is ask for my brand new people, again, the ones who've never done taxes before, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to explain to you the process and how it will look like for you guys. All right, so Deb, okay, so Deb, let's say for example, this is perfect for you. You know, we're going to go through the program again. Like I said, we believe in setting goals, right, Joyce? We believe in setting a lot of goals. Okay, so obviously, brand new, we're going to talk about what are you looking to do, how much money you're trying to make. Now, regardless of what you're trying to do, we already have a goal in mind for you, right? And a lot of times for brand new people coming in, our goal is always going to be to, at the very least, get them to 50 returns. Okay, 50 returns at a really good pricing will bring you about 20 to 25,000. So we'll take that benchmark, walk through a process of how to get to that number, right? How to take accountability, how to write goals, how to get clients, how to get to that number, right? And Paul, I don't know about you, but making 20 to 25,000 in 3 months is a very great thing, right? So when we talk about goals, that's something we try to do is have conversations, go through our training, what goal you're trying to do, and how do we get to that process of you hitting that number, okay? Now, next question, for those of you who've done taxes before, have a tax business, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. I want to go over the process of how it will look like for you guys. So if you've done taxes before, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. All right, so Alexis, right? So you have done taxes before, whether you had a tax business or have done tax experience in the past. Okay, so our goal, our discussion is going to be a little bit different, right? We want to know exactly what your experience was, right? How many returns you did in the past, what benchmark where you were, and Tracy, like what number you trying to get to now, right? So with your with my newbie, it's gonna be more of like a starting out. We're gonna start you here. For those of you with experience or if you have a tax business, we want to see more of like where were you before and what you're trying to get to. So you guys will be more geared towards growth and expansion, right? How to increase on what you already have, right? So the point is the process, how we do things, the training, how we do things is going to be the same for everybody, okay? But the path, the direction, the endpoint is going to be determined based on your goals, all right? The main question is always going to be, where do you see yourself a year from today? And more importantly, how much are you willing to invest? I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about learning. I'm talking about taking the time to learn. Like how much you're willing to invest when it comes to that. All right. And that's going to be the main question that we're always going to have for you. All right. So now what I want to do is kind of just go over the training that we offer, how that looks like, and just give you a really good direction of how we go through when we talk about training, right? So the first thing we want to do is give you an amazing software, okay? We have a cloud-based tax software, all right? And that means that you can work from anywhere. You can work from your laptop, your tablet, even your phone, your desktop. Now, I never advise people to do returns on tablets and phones. I don't think that's professional. But the point is, as long as you have internet access, you can do a tax return anywhere. All right. You'll be able to prepare and e-file tax returns from any state, okay, for any state. All right. You'll offer, again, refund advances and holiday loans to your clients. We offer a built-in mobile app, and clients, which is the best part, gets to upload documents into the return from their phone. All right. You could potentially never have to meet a client. As long as you have a really good discussion with them, you never have to meet with the client. All right. Clients, your office is going to be paperless, which means clients could log on to the secure portal, review their tax return, sign off. Refund comes in, you guys get paid, and that's pretty much how the process works with the software. All right. Again, like I said, the fees come directly from clients' refunds, so you get paid fast and you get paid upfront. And the best part about this is we'll walk you through how to use the software, right? We go through step-by-step training how to use the software. You get hands-on training, on-demand videos, and support when you need it. So especially for my newbies, even if you've never touched a software before, the goal is always going to be to make sure you're as comfortable as possible before the tax season starts. All right. Now, our training is broken down into 3 parts. All right, it's tax training, right? We go through the tax law. We go over software training, where we teach you the features of the cloud tax software. And then we go over operating and marketing, right? How does that look? And how do we get money? Okay, so let's break each one of them down, all right? So the first thing is going to be the tax class, all right? Now, we do a lot of training, but obviously the main focus is going to be the tax class to make sure everyone is comfortable with taxes, all right? The tax class, again, is perfect for beginners, but it's also for people who have done taxes before, have experience, to get more of a refresher. Especially now we have what's called the Big Beautiful Bill. And again, it's going to be a training that we're going to do on that in about 2 weeks, the Big Beautiful Bill. And the Big Beautiful Bill is a lot of changes from deductions to credits. There's a lot of changes coming up this coming tax season. All right. But our class is set up for that. Okay. It is virtual, so it's easy to follow. All right. You'll learn how to prepare tax returns, understand the key forms from credits, how to handle things like self-employment, dependents, and also deductions. Okay. The class does start not October 13th, actually October 20th. It runs for 2 days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. All right. Now, the best part of our class that I like the most is everything is recorded. All right. We have people on our team who lives in California, who lives in Arizona, and also lives in Texas, which are all different time zones, right? So you may be late to the class, you may miss a class. Life does happen. All right. But the goal is to make sure that everything's recorded so you guys could follow through at your own pace as well. All right. As long as you follow through with the recording, you will be fine. So it's fine to miss a class or two. As long as you follow up, you'll be okay. You'll be fine. Okay. So that's pretty much a tax class in general. Again, we go through self-employment, we go through deductions, we go through all the forms that are given in the tax code. All right. Again, the goal is to build a really good foundation. Now, taxes, it could be boring, right? Listen to someone talk about taxes could be very boring, but the magic actually happens when you're practicing on the software. All right. Practice, practice, practice is very important. That's why we give you 20 real live practice returns to work on. If you're brand new, you're going to be doing returns that the return is going to take an hour to do. Okay. But the goal is after every return, this time's going to be shorter and shorter and shorter. You're going to be down to doing returns in 20 to 25 minutes. That's going to be the goal. All right. And one thing about taxes, it is very simple. All right. Because you're going to see the same thing over and over again. It's repetitive. You're going to see someone with a W-2 who's single and 3 kids. You're going to see someone who has self-employment income with 2 kids. You're going to see a married couple with a house. You're going to see the same thing over and over and over again. All right. The thing that's different, you guys, is always going to be the people, how to handle people, how to get people, how to talk to people. That's the only thing that's going to matter in this business. And again, we teach you all of that as well. With our software, also, you get access to 10 hours of self-paced training videos where we walk you through common situations that we see in our offices that we expect you to see during the tax season, especially in the beginning. All right. On top of that, you'll be included outside of just the tax class. You'll be included in our 3-week live software training where we go deep into answering software questions to make sure you're comfortable with the software. And again, the goal is from now until December to get you to get on the software and make as much mistakes as possible so we know where you need help with, what we need to get you to get ready to do some tax returns. All right. And again, to give you more of a peace of mind, your returns will be double checked by our compliance team before it gets to the IRS. Now, we talked about taxes, all right? And you could be an expert in taxes, okay? We talked about the software. You could be amazing in the software, right? But honestly, if there's no money coming in, it doesn't make a difference, right? There's nothing going on but the rent, all right? So with our training, we go through marketing, right? We give you the tools and strategies of how to attract clients, even if you're brand new and don't even have a big network, right? We'll show you how to do a referral program, how to do a build list formula, how to do guerrilla marketing that actually work, how to do social media marketing that will actually get people to come and talk to you to do taxes. We go through all that, all right? Starting a tax business, you guys, is relatively very inexpensive. What we spend a lot of money on is marketing, all right? We do what's called real marketing. We do not do hope marketing. And hope marketing is when we throw something on the wall and hopefully it works, right? We don't do any hope marketing. One of the things we're going to teach you when it comes to marketing is there's only 2 types of clients, all right? Only 2 types of clients. There's early season clients and late season clients. And we market to them separately, all right? And it's something, again, we go through our training. With operation training, the goal is to get you into a great structure, right, for your virtual office, right? What forms you need, the intake forms, how to address situation with clients, how to deal with processing banks, how to get refund checks, how to do direct deposits, how to what equipment you need. We set all that. We help you set all that up for in our operations program. All right. So that's our marketing training. Now the great thing about this is all our training is in one place, one central place, right? All our live and recording training and resources are on our online training platform, which is available 24/7 before tax season, during tax season, and after tax season. As long as you have a laptop or even your phone or an app, you have access to our training hub. All right. All the materials will be there, from the tax books to the reference to all the replay videos, so you can access them anytime. Right. Now, for our tax class, we do assignments and quiz. We do practice returns. All right. All that is there as well. We have a live training calendar where we have schedules of all our trainings that are coming up. So you'll know what training is coming up. You won't miss a training. And if you do, again, everything's recorded, right? All our software training videos are there, live and recording. All right. We also house our live and recorded marketing training, right? That's also included. How do we get our first 50 clients? How do we grow? How do we scale? Right? What tools do we need to do that? We cover all that on our 10X marketing program. Right? Our ultimate business operating training are just resources to give you a smooth running tax office, even if you're just getting started for the very first time. All right. And one thing that's great about our network, our training hub, is that the network of people, right? There's over 100 tax professionals on our network where we get to build, where we get to collab, where we get to network, and just pretty much learn from each other, and not just from us as a team in general. All right, guys. So one of the things I want to do is take a quick break and just go over what that training platform actually looks like. All right, like what does it look like? All right. So pretty much, the name of our training platform is called Dream Builders Network. Right. So Dream Builder Networks, just think of it as Facebook for tax professionals. All right, for tax businesses. Right, where we network. We have conversations, we talk about things we see in different states. So we do a lot of networking there as well. But another thing we do is a lot of our training are there. All right. So we have our training calendar, which you can connect to your calendar so you don't miss a training. But we have all our scheduled trainings right on our calendar, so you know what's coming up, when it's coming up, and what you would like to jump on, which you should be jumping on every training, to be honest, but you have an idea of what's what. All right. So our training calendar is here to see what's coming up. Now, there's a lot of things on here, so I'm going to go over a few things, not every single thing, because it's going to take us all night. But we have an operating training. We pretty much just go over what it is to build a tax office, and depending how far you want to take it, whether it's just a home office and you're an independent preparer, or you're trying to build a tax business, right? Those two steps are different, but we teach you how to do both, all right? From getting a P10 to getting an EFIN, right? To the structure of having an LLC, S Corp, or C Corp, to having your own business name, to having your own logo, to actually branding that business, to creating your own website, to building your own social media pages, to also your Google business setup, right? We go through all of that of how to do that, all right? We also go through pricing, right? How to price, the best way to price, all right? And all of that is followed by our live workshops and coaching calls, right? We go through our AI program, and AI is really big right now, and this is the way we use it to get clients. We go through our AI program also. Our tax training is pretty much where everything meets, right? Where all our foundation is. Our tax training, which again starts October 20th, but we already have our self-paced training up already. All right. And the goal with our self-paced training is just to teach you fundamentals, foundation, and definitions, right? A lot of it is self-paced, watching videos before the tax class actually starts. We define what terms mean. We define what a credit is, what a deduction is, right? We define what an adoption credit is, right? We define what self-employment is. We go through the steps of defining what those things mean before the class starts. And then once the class actually starts, everything will be recorded. The schedule will be there. The links to join will be there. A cheat sheet will be there. Homework assignments will be there. A quiz will be there. So we go through all that in our training hub as well. Now, marketing again is very much the key. Again, you can learn how to do taxes, guys. You can learn how to have a great office, but marketing is going to be where the key is, right? So we go to our 10 steps of how to get clients, how to retain clients, and how to grow to clients you already have. We go through those 10 steps. We go through what marketing looks like, to what a referral program looks like, to how to build how to build a list formula, and also how to market on social media, which is very important. Okay. We go through our 6-figure marketing strategies, what that looks like, and who you should be marketing to. And we also go through guerrilla marketing, which is a whole new low-cost technique marketing. We also have a lot of other training and support here. Again, it's going to take me a long time to go over, but the point is everything is pretty much at your fingertips. You follow the calendar, you jump on the live trainings, the workshops, you do some self-studying yourself, and you'll be ready for tax season. You'll be an expert, and you'll be ready to go to make as much money as possible. All right, so that's pretty much our training hub. And again, there's a lot more to it than that. But I don't want to spend the whole night going over it because it is a lot. But the point is a lot. Everything is there for you at your fingertips. So guys, so before I go over, I want to ask another question, right? Put in one in the chat if you see value and you feel like this program can help someone who is committed. Again, put a one in the chat if you see value in this and you feel like this can help someone who's committed. All right, awesome. That's great to hear. All right, good. Now, guys, put a two in the chat if you feel like this program is not really the best, and you know, it really won't help anybody. And I have to ask that too, because at the end of the day, you know, this is not for everybody. You do have to have commitment. You know, you have to have a willingness to learn, ask questions, and it is a process to go through when you're trying to learn how taxes. But it's not just about taxes; it's about building a business. Whether you're doing an independent preparer, working in the office, or trying to build a tax business, right? It's a process. All right. Now, again, we can teach you all the resources, the education, and support, but honestly, it really depends on your goals, right? And where do you see yourself a year from now? Okay, so how do we enroll and what's my investment, right? So now what I want to do is go over the value of our program that you guys are going to get and show you what the discounted price is. All right, so I'm gonna go over the value first, and then we'll show you what the discounted price is. All right, so the first one is a tax class, right? We go through our tax class. It's self-paced. Okay, you're looking at modules, but you're also in a live tax class taught by tax professionals. All right, giving the concept of the tax return. Right, your average tax class does cost about $3.99, and again, with the big beautiful bill, anyone who's looking to get into the industry does have to take a tax class as well. So that's the value right there. The cloud-based tax software, again, having a really good tax software is very important. You need a tax software that's cloud-based, very easy to use, and also has training and support. But again, our software comes with way more than that from our secure setup, our client portal, client app, how you can talk to clients through the portal. It comes with way more features than your average tax software. Okay. Now, next is the ultimate operating training, where again, we show you how to structure an actual tax office from the equipment to the forms that you need to bank setup, to if you're trying to get an EFIN or PTIN, LLC, S Corp setup. So we go through all those training for you, depending on what your goal is and what you're trying to do. And like I said before, having a great having a great knowledge in tax is really good. Being an expert in the software is great. Having a perfect tax office is great as well, but we need money. Right? We have to make as much money as possible, right? So that's why we go through our effective marketing techniques. Again, no hope marketing. What we try to do is try to find a way for our marketing to meet your goals so we can make as much money as possible. And that's all done to our 10X Bulletproof Marketing Program. Next, we have our training marketing platform. All right. And again, that's a platform I just showed you where everything is housed 24/7 from marketing to our tax class. And it's really based on your schedule and when you're ready to jump on to do some learning and also the workshops and things that we have as well. And finally, for those of you who are interested, we do sponsor for those of you who are looking to start a career in the insurance business and also in investments is a great way to merge the two with taxes. Being able to do all that is always going to be a great thing. All right. So again, that's the value of our program. It is valued at $4,695, but the cost of the program is $397, pretty much the cost of one tax return. Again, your average tax return costs about $400. For the cost of one tax return, you're going to learn how to do your own taxes, tax of other people. You're going to learn how to do a business setup. You're going to learn how to use a tax software. You're going to learn how to do marketing. You're going to learn how to network with other people. And potentially for free, you'll learn about life insurance and also having a career with investments, right? Again, all for the price of one tax return for $397. Right. So I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a link in the chat to enroll. You guys, amazing program. So go ahead and click that link in the chat enroll into the program. Now, what I want to do right now is show you, once you click that link in the chat, what will happen next, okay? So once you click the link in the chat, it's going to bring you to our enrollment page, right? And our enrollment page basically is just want to know who you are, obviously, right? Because the goal is we want to get you our software, we want to get you your software, and then we want to get you training as soon as possible, okay? So you're going to put in some basic information to enroll, and then you pick which one meets your budget for the most part, okay? Now, again, the early enrollment, again, it is an early enrollment that ends this weekend. The actual investment is $697, but early enrollment is $397. But those of you who would like to move forward, now it is a 15% discount, right, to pay full price, and that actually brings you down from $397 to $337. All right. So if you want to do that, go ahead and check this box. Or just do a simple deposit. All right. We do deposits. Do $49.95 now, and in 30 days, the balance of $347, $247, oh, I'm sorry, $347 will be due. All right. So you're pretty much picking whichever meets your budget, or just split the two payments in half, which is fine as well. Guys, regardless of which one you pick that meets your budget, the program starts right away. Right. So if you was to pick the $49.95, the program is still going to start right away. There's no lag. If you was to pick pay in full, there's still no lag. If you was to do a payment option, still no lag. Again, the goal is to make sure all boxes are unchecked, and then pick which one you feel comfortable with. We also do offer financing, you guys, and that's down here, so you can finance this as well. But again, for the price of one tax return, you're going to be learning a whole lot. It's going to be in your hands as well. Okay, so go ahead and click that link to enroll. It will bring you here. Fill out some basic information. Uncheck this box. Fill out some basic information, and again, just pick which one actually meets your budget. Again, the first one, 50% off if you're trying to do full price. But again, you could always do a deposit of $49.95, and that's pretty much to get you set up, get the software going, get you set up in the training. And then again, before the tax class actually starts, the deposit, the balance will be due. And again, I'll just split the two in half. All right. So once you click that link, fill out the information, and enroll, what's the next step? Okay, so the next step is you will get a welcome email, all right, and an agreement. And in that welcome email and agreement, pretty much just go over everything we just talked to, what's in the program, what you're getting. We go through all that in the agreement, okay? So you'll get that in the email once you enroll. The next one is what's called an onboarding form, right? And that form is asking some basic information because we want to get you on that tax software as soon as possible, right? We want you to get familiar with the software, to start practicing and playing around in the software. We're going to get you the software as soon as possible. So further onboarding form is very key. Then you get access to a training hub. Okay, and this is about a 2 to 3 day process. You get access to the training hub, and then you start training. All right, and then you get set up with our kickoff meeting. Now, kickoff meeting, we just pretty much go over expectations, how our task class look, answer whatever other question you have. You may be struggling with something, you may need help with something. We go over all that in our kickoff meeting. And even though our tax class starts October 20th, training is an ongoing process, right? We do marketing training a lot. We do a lot of workshops and setting up. We do a lot of tax workshops so you can understand what's going on, what's coming out. So it is a lot of training, a lot of workshops that we do have available for you. So that's what happens after you click that link in the chat. That's pretty much what happens during the enrollment process. Again, what's included is a cloud-based tax software, live training, real marketing that actually work, right? You get tax updates, how to structure a tax business, a tax office. You know, we have bi-weekly calls, training, and workshops that are live. Again, you have access to our resource hub and a lot of networking and support, which is very important. Again, all for the price of a tax return. If you're taking advantage of the early enrollment, which ends this coming weekend, okay? And again, just to go over what's coming up, September, which is halfway done, we do have a few trainings coming up. The next training we have coming up is Monday at 7 p.m. It's called Creating Generational Wealth. And it's a great training to be on. That training is actually free. You do not have to enroll into this program. It's a training we do for free to the public. And the goal is to teach people how to create generational wealth, right? Especially in this day and age, okay? We want to be able to teach people how to do these things, okay? So again, it's a free training. It takes about 20 minutes. I'm going to put a link in the chat for anyone who wants to enroll Monday at 7 p.m. Look, guys, to take 20 minutes out your time to learn how to make more money through life insurance, through investments, through real estate, it's a great and wonderful thing. So make sure free training, free webinar, jump on, learn something new. You probably have a good takeaway and learn how to do something a little different, okay? We also have our smooth operation training coming up actually coming up next week, where we go over how to set up your tax office. We go over forms, structure, LLCs, S Corp, C Corp. We go over all that in our smooth operation training. We have the big, beautiful bill coming up in 2 weeks where we go over tax deductions, credits, make sure you understand what changes that our president put into place. And then we have our kickoff meeting where we go over what our expectations are, more of a general open call, all those things coming up within the next week to 2 weeks. Okay, so that's pretty much what's coming up for September. And again, guys, I asked this question a little bit earlier, who is this really for? And again, it's not for everybody. If it's not for you, it's totally fine. What we want to do is give you an opportunity, see something different, see something new, see something that say, hey, you know what? I could make some money here at the end of the day, right? And if that's you, if you're brand new and ready to start a career in taxes and don't know where to begin, then this program is for you, all right? If you have tax experience already of our tax office, but you're just stuck at a certain level, you at a hump and you need a little push to get over that hump and start making more money, this program is for you, right? If you're looking to scale with proven marketing skills and operation skills and training, you need support. Guys, if you need mentoring, you're in the right place. But better yet, if you're looking to have more control of your finance or your future, if you're looking to break free on your own to have a better financial future, then again, this program is for you. All right, guys? So again, what we do is we give you the structure, the tools, and the education that you need to become successful. Okay, but it's really up to you. It's really up to your goals at the end of the day. All right. So guys, does anyone have any questions for me now? Again, feel free to put it in the chat. You can also unmute yourself and ask the question that you do have. Now, in the meantime, while you get your questions together, for those of you who want some more information, I'm going to put another link in the chat where you can do a one-on-one call with myself or my team, and we'll be able to answer some more questions for you. If there's some questions we were not able to answer on this call, again, early enrollment will be done on Sunday, this coming Sunday. So we'll go from $397 to $697, I believe. So that is over on Sunday. But go ahead and click the link on the chat, set up a one-on-one call to ask some questions. We also have some other payment options, but when we send a text out to say thank you for jumping on, just reply to our text and ask what the payment options are. And one of my people on my team, Yanisa, will get back to you with some payment options and answer what other questions you do have. Okay. But again, does anyone have any questions for me about the program? Pretty much what we do, how things look. All right, here we go. Again, feel free to unmute yourself. All right, so I want to work remotely under your guidance is a question that I have. You can absolutely work remotely under our guidance. Again, if you're talking about being an independent preparer, you will be under our guidance, right? So again, the goal is to make sure you understand step A to step Z, right? Give you a good step basis. Now, again, there's a lot of training that we do provide, but we want to take baby steps, right? The goal is not to get you overwhelmed. It's for you guys to have baby steps and take it step by step by step. All right, and that's going to be the goal, to present things to you in baby steps so you could have a better way of retaining information, a better way of learning. Now, that's a great question. Any other questions? Again, feel free to unmute yourself to ask a question. You can just put it in the chat. Okay, so I'm gonna take it like I did a great job. Everything's explained. All right, so you guys go ahead, click that link in the chat. Like I said, it's gonna bring you to our enrollment page.
Is there a charge for additional training? Montgomery's asking.
That's a great question. Is there a charge for additional training? No. So the training we just talked about is the training that we have. That's the price for those trainings. Okay. Now there are some trainings we're going to throw in that are like free. And again, it's just get you up on your skills. We do a lot of workshops. Depending on how well people are moving along, we may add more workshops to make sure people get it. But everything went over is what you're going to get for our enrollment fee of $397. How about if you did a tax course already and have an LLC? That's a great question. If you have a tax, the program is still the same. So if we put everybody on the same exact program. If you did a tax course already, I mean, you have a leg up. If you have LLC, you have a leg up. What I would want to do for you though is have a more of a conversation with you to talk about our business elite program, where it's a little different, where we really focus on people who have actual tax business, right? That's already set up. So you still have to go through the program, but you'll be put in a different path where it's more of a business elite course. It's a little bit more customized, and that's something we could talk about depending on when you sign up, when we go through your goals, what you're looking to do, and that's something that's available as well. Are the workshops free? Yeah, so again, workshops, everything's included, right? So again, we have like 4 workshops coming up in the next 2 weeks. That's part of training. Guys, the training is not just a tax class. All right, the tax class is obviously the most important part, right? Because you have to do taxes. Okay, but the training is not just a tax class. Okay, the tax class is one of the most important parts. All right, but again, that tax class starts in October 20th. So between now, September, and October 20th, we have what, like 6 more weeks left. We have marketing training to do. We have operations training to do. Okay. During the tax class, again, it's Mondays and Wednesdays. There's gonna be workshops on Saturdays. There's gonna be workshops on Wednesdays that we go over bank products, right? What does a bank product look like? Okay. We're gonna go over something we have that's called closing the sale, where we teach you how to close a client deal. How do we get a client, a prospective client, how we get to talk to them, and the process it takes for us to complete the tax return and get paid as much as possible, right? So that is a workshop that we do. Another workshop that we go over is what causes red flags on a tax return. Okay, how to avoid red flags on a tax return. Now, even we have a great compliance team, and we do a good job in making sure those things are happening. We want you to know if you do this, it will cause a red flag on a tax return, right? So that's another workshop. All right, so we don't detail all the workshops, but again, when you sign up and you're in our hub, excuse me, on our training calendar, everything will be there. All the workshops will be there, all the classes will be there. We have description on what's going on. So everything again will be there. Okay. Again, like for example, on the 27th, we're having our smooth operation training. All right. So that's a workshop. Okay. In 2 weeks, we'll have the big beautiful bill. Again, that's another workshop. So to answer your question, yeah, all the workshops are included. And again, everything is recorded. For independent tax preparers, can we pay for training and you will be able to work with them? Yeah, I don't understand the question. So
I'm
once you
thinking that they're
enroll,
asking like if they have additional people working with them, are we training
oh,
them as
that's a
well?
great question. Yeah. So that's one thing about our program. If you have a team that you're building already, yeah, they could jump on. We just need to know who they are, but they could jump on to the training too, right? So if you're building a team, you could bring them onto the training as well. That's a great question. Yes. Now again, that team is your team, right? So they're not gonna get a login. They're not gonna get their own software. With the software you're gonna get, you have unlimited access, unlimited user access, which means that if you have a team of 5 people, you can set up 5 credentials for those 5 people. If you have a team of 10 people, you can set up a credential for 10 people. But again, they're part of your team. They can go through your training. They won't have their own individual software. It'll still be your software. That was a great question. Any other questions, guys? All right, great. So again, click the link in the chat. Go ahead and enroll, or like offering a resources including mentorship and customer support. All right, so I'm assuming you mean, do we offer mentorship and customer support? So during our workshops, again, our workshop is what that is, mentorship. Okay, when we do bi-weekly calls, that is mentorship. Okay. Now, again, we do have a business elite program where for those of you who have a tax business and looking for something that's additional, that's a little different. And again, once you join the program, we'll show you more about that. But if you're looking to become an independent preparer, the goal is really to have you do taxes, learn marketing, learn operations, go through our workshops. Again, we'll have calls to make sure you're comfortable and to answer questions you do have if you get stuck somewhere. So that's part of the program as well. And again, for all that is for the price of one tax return. And the goal obviously is once you do your one tax return, you already pay for your program. Okay. Once you sign up, you have your home office, you have your software, you have your materials. All those things are tax deductible for you. And for those of you who do not know, we have trainings on self-employment, how to do a self-employment tax return, right? And the goal is for you to know how to do your own business return, right? What to deduct, what's tax deductible, for your home, for your software, for whatever you're trying to do, what's tax deductible, and how that looks like and how that works. All right, so that's a great question. So again, guys, go ahead and click the link in the chat. Once you click the link in the chat, it's going to bring you to the enrollment page. Again, early enrollment, it is $397, which ends on Sunday. You have three options. Pay full price and get a 50% discount. So you're paying $337. Do a deposit of $49.95 and the balance is due in 30 days, or just split the payments up in two. We do financing as well through that, which is down here, and also some other payment options. Just click the link in the chat, and then we'll be able to. If you're looking for more of a one-on-one, have some more questions, just click the link in the chat. And if you do set up a one-on-one call, guys, just make sure you're there because we do have a lot of people jumping on, and want to make sure we give time to everybody. If you can't make whatever one-on-one call you schedule, just do me a big favor, just reschedule so we can leave the slot open for somebody else. I think another question came in. Can you talk a little bit about the newbie independent preparer? That's what I would like to do. All right, so my newbie. So one of the things when doing this business for a long time, there's always been a fear of I don't want to mess up somebody's tax return. I had that fear a long time ago too, And what I always told my newbie people, I'm gonna think of a new term than newbies, but we use newbies for now. The goal is for you guys is to focus on a client relationship, right? If you have a great Montgomery, if you have a great personality, your personality is what's more important, right? Be a people person. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. So that's going to be your main goal. Be a caring, awesome individual. That's all you have to worry about. When it comes to taxes, let us worry about that and getting you to a point where you need to get to where you feel comfortable. Now, and again, I would say to my newbies, focus on that. And when the return is done, let our compliance team see what needs to be done, do what needs to be fixed before it goes to the IRS. So when you do a return, it goes to the compliance team. The compliance team leave notes, make suggestions of things that needs to change. So you can learn these are things that needs to change. But let's talk, even before we get to that point of doing a tax return during the tax season, the goal is when you're doing this training, is to be involved in the training, right? So one of the things we do is software training. We do a lot of software training, right? So you're going to get practice returns to do. If you're not doing the practice returns, you're not going to do good during tax season. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I'm not a salesperson, so excuse me what I'm about to say. If you're not going to be available to do practice returns, this program is not for you. Okay, if you're not going to be able to focus on learning how to do a return, this program is really not for you. All right, because we take you to a lot of training where you should be able to do a return before tax season starts, right? So with our software training, you're in the software, you're doing a practice return, you're going to have an actual return in front of you doing, right? To make sure you're comfortable. We go over we go over how head of household, marathon joint, self-employment, LLC, Schedule C business. So we go over all that for my newbie people who are brand new. The goal is again to make as much mistakes today so we can know what you need help with. All right. The mistakes works better. All right. Another process for my newbie people is understanding what your goals are. Montgomery, we're like, what are your goals? How much money you're trying to make? And let's work up to a path to how to do that. All right. But again, a lot of it depends on your goals. All right. Again, a lot of people who started with us are brand new last year. They're doing it extremely well. We had one person who did, I believe, over 300 returns. First time ever touching a return. did about 300 returns themselves. Now, again, he did have a good network of people, so we can only take like 80% of the credit. But again, brand new, never did a return before, you know. So it's the same thing. A lot of it is just asking questions when you get stuck. Make sure you do the training. Make sure you jump on. If you miss a training, just watch the recording. The recordings are very simple. We put everything in, and that's I want to say baby steps, not to say that we all babies, but we learn differently. You know, I don't learn. I mean, I'm not that bright. You know, I'm just consistent, and that's a difference. You know, I'm not that smart. I'm just very consistent. You know, so just be consistent to the program, my newbie people, and trust me, you'll be fine. It's very simple. The tax business, the taxes in general is straightforward, very simple. It's just the people that are different. Well, that was a very long answer, so I hope that answered your question. I'm interested in learning how to do an amended. Yeah, so we also show you how to do an amended tax return. An amended tax return is when a return is already done, it has to be redone. So you'll learn how to do an amended tax return. All right, so great, guys, that was some great questions. If there's any more, go ahead and put it on now. But again, go ahead and click that link in the chat. Go ahead and enroll. Early enrollment does end this weekend. We have a big training coming up in the next few days, so I would like to get as much people on there as possible. Even though the training are recorded, it's really good to be live, get to know everybody, to network, to meet everybody, and just ask some more questions and stuff too. So we have a big training coming up in a few days. So I would love to get as much people on that training as possible so we could start training. Tax season is, geez, it's about 3 months and it's moving fast, you know. So you guys have to just decide, you know, what your goals are. If you're ready to make that leap of faith, if you're ready to make some changes into your in your finances, and also have more control. So again, for the price of one tax return, you're going to be learning a whole lot, you know, and you're going to make more money than you invested. I could guarantee that much. Okay, guys. So does anyone have any other questions? All right, great. So again, guys, happy Thursday. Have a great night. Have fun tonight. Have fun tomorrow night. Have fun this weekend. I hope to see you guys in the next training that we do. And I'm looking forward to working with you guys. I really would like to see where you are in 30 days from today. If you guys jump into a program, I'm excited to see where you are 30 days from today. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. And again, for the price of one tax return, it's going to be dope. All right. So again, have a great weekend. Joyce, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Have fun. And I hope to see you guys soon. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Good night.